Right guys, good afternoon. My name is Paul Keogh from PK Cleaning, and I just want to talk about what I think is the most overrated and most overused word in window cleaning. And I hear it a lot on YouTube, I hear it a lot when I'm out in the street from other window cleaners, and that word is compactness. And I hear quite a few people bragging that they've got every customer on a street, or they've got every customer in an area. And granted, compactness is on its own, it's not a bad thing, you know, because the logic is you've got a number of houses that are nearby each other, and therefore you've got less travelling, you can clean the windows quicker, you get more houses done, ka-ching, you get more money in the bank. And there are issues with that, because it's not the only thing that's important, and it's not even the most important thing. Right, the problem in focusing purely on compactness is that very often what happens is the quality of the work drops. If you're thinking, I just need every house on the street, then where does quality come into that equation? You know, I focus much more on quality of customer. So I want a good customer who's going to pay me on time. It's going to pay me the way I want to get paid. You know, I don't want cash left under a bin that might be there and might not be there. I don't want that. Are they going to pay me a fair price for the work I'm going to do? So if I'm interested in getting customers next door and then next door to that, have I got to drop my price to get those customers? And am I going to say to myself, well, they're all in a nice area, it's all compact work, so therefore I'm earning more money? It's not how I want to run my business, you know. And at the end of the day, this is my opinion, guys, you know what I mean? There's no hard facts here. But one thing I will tell you is that there are bad customers out there, and there are bad customers out there who are going to entice you with the idea of compactness. And I'll give you a very short story. Some years ago, getting on for 10 years ago, and I get phone calls like this all the time. A lady rang me up and she said, oh, we need a window cleaner around here. We've not had a window cleaner around here for ages. And it's not just me, there's everyone in the street, all my friends, we all need a window cleaner, right? And at the time you think, oh, ka-ching, you know, great. A lot of work on the same street, brilliant, yeah? So I went to Price, which is what I used to do then, I don't do that now. So I went out to have a look, met the lady, and sure enough, there was 3 or 4 other ladies come out. And I was cheap then, I've not been in the business long, but it was at a time where I'd started to think, I'm not taking cash payments anymore. The only way I'm going to get paid is through direct debit. But anyway, I didn't mention anything about that. I quoted £7 a house. These were semi-detached, and at the time, like I say, it was a bit cheap. Not been in the business that long, and I said £7 a house, and we had a little bit of a chatter, and she said, well, the other guy used to charge £6.50. So straight away, I'm thinking probably what you're thinking is, who's this other guy and where is he? And basically, I said that to her. I said, well, why don't you go back to him, love, you know? And obviously they're not going back to him, but they were still arguing about the price. So I thought, right, at this point, I just wanted to get away and get away from these ladies. And I just said, well, the other thing is, you know, you will have to set up for direct debit payment, because that's the only way we take payment. And what happened was, they just all disappeared. They all went into the houses. Okay, so the reason they enticed me to come out and have a look was there was a lot of work in a small area, and they know exactly what they're doing, but you know, they didn't want to sign up with me and sign up for a direct debit. Now, is my business stronger or weaker because I didn't get those customers? What do you think? Now, obviously, if you're covering a bigger area and you're not as compact, you're going to have a bit more travelling to do. But I only take payment through direct debit. I don't take any other payment method. And so, and I'm easier to get those customers because I'm covering a bigger area now, okay? And that cuts down the travelling, because I'm not travelling out, I'm not chasing payment. I'm not travelling to people's houses, knocking on the door and waiting to get paid, and they might not even be in. You know, even on the day when we're out cleaning, I'm not hanging around waiting to give change and have a chat with the customer and get cash. Don't have any of that. We just put a leaflet through saying we've cleaned your windows today. You know, and they're expecting this because we've texted them anyway. So it cuts, in a way, it cuts down travelling. You know, there's a balance there. But now we've got quality work, and I know there's money going in my account every day, and I'm getting paid. So don't get me wrong, when you first start out in window cleaning, like I did, you need every customer. So because you need money coming in, and you've got to put food on the table, you've got to pay your bills. So you tend to take customers on any payment method, and when you go quoting, you tend to be pricing on from a point of view is what will this customer give me, and so you tend to be cheap. That's just the way it is, really. But sooner or later, once you've built up quite a lot of work, you need to reassess. And what I had to do, I had to look at my business and think, I've got all these customers, but the business is not as strong as what you think on paper, because some of them are paying you every 2, 3, 4 cleans. Some of them might never pay you at all, you know. So, and it's hard because you have to start thinking, I need to get rid of some of these, and I need to swap them out with better customers. And so what I did, as I've mentioned, I started taking people on direct debit only. And after a while, I realised it wasn't that hard, because you've got some customers who owe you 3 lots, and you've got a new customer who's paying you via direct debit. So the new customer is actually paying you every time you clean the house. They're paying you. The other customer, I didn't stop collecting, so I would stop cleaning, and every time I would be in the area, I'd knock on the door. And if they weren't in, okay, I'm not cleaning your house anyway, you know, I'd just move on. If they were in, I'd collect the free payments. And the other thing is I'd try and get them on direct debit. So I'd say like, oh, well, we're stopping this now, you know, because they owe us quite a bit of money. So, you know, we're only doing it on direct debit. I wouldn't say that to them. I'd just say, oh, we're just taking payment via direct debit now. And funny enough, yeah, most of them wouldn't sign up for direct debit. Now, nothing lost, because if I carried on cleaning their windows, I'm not going to get paid for months anyway. It's going to be month after month after month before I get paid. The new people that I'm taking on, they're paying me every time. So what actually happens is more money starts building up in your account. So you get more money coming in. You've got better cash flow. You know, this idea that it'll all come in the end. Well, yeah, why don't you get it in as soon as you can? You know, so we don't want to get it in at the end. You know, there isn't a finish line. You know, what we want is good cash flow. Businesses rely on good cash flow. The number one reason for businesses to go bust is problems with cash flow. They're not getting the money in fast enough to meet their outgoings. In a way, it's sort of instead of looking at businesses in the short term, which is what you have to do when you first start out in window cleaning, you have to look at things in a short term. You have to take a short term view. I need money in. You've got to change your perspective and think more long term. So, and it's quite difficult to do. So that's what I did, and boy, am I glad that I did that, because over time my business is a lot stronger, better cash flow. It's enabled me to get to the point where I can employ people. So I've had periods of retirement, basically. I've had periods of 6 months at a time where I'm not out cleaning. I'm not doing that. I might be working on the business in the office, you know, on the computer, thinking about one of the big issues, which is how do I get more customers? How do I grow the business? And that's a job in itself. But there are times when, you know, I've gone off and done other things that I want to do, and the business generates an income. And, you know, so one of the things I do is I like to go off and do landscape photography. And I'll go out and I'll visit an area, and I'll get out with my camera and do some hiking. And that's what I love. It's a bit of a passion of mine. Just like window cleaning is, just like the business is, that's a passion. But I've got a choice now. You know, it's not always I have to go out every day cleaning windows or clearing gutters. You know, I've got the option. at the moment, I'm quite busy on the business. I'm doing one or two things, and I'm actually going out doing some cleaning because we're trying to grow the business, take it to the next step. But going back, I'm thinking about the change that it had to make and start thinking more long term, and it is that balance. Better quality. Not so worried about compactness, better quality. One other thing I can say is that there were times when I'm trying to grow the business, so I'm not thinking of a small area now, I'm thinking about a bigger area. And that allows me then to look at a place that's further away, a bit further away, and think, can I build up some work in that area? And I've done this quite a lot of times. There was one area where it was 45 minutes travelling, and I started off, had 2 or 3 cleans in that area. So think about this now, I had to travel 45 minutes there, do 2 or 3 cleans, and travel 45 minutes back. Now, if you take the short-term view, it's not worth it. It's not worth doing because, you know, with all the travelling, you're not making any money. But now, we have multiple days in that area. And it's not just that area, it's other areas. So long term, we've grown the business, we've got quality work. And, you know, to travel 45 minutes to an area, I mean, to be honest, it's not an issue now. We have a lad who lives in that area, you know, so it's not travelling for him. I mean, he will travel to other areas, but, you know, for that particular area, it's on his doorstep. So, you know, this is it. Short term, long term. Quality, compactness. You know, it's up to you which way you want to go. But I think short term, if you just keep thinking short term all the time, then long term you're going to have problems. By the way, if you've liked the video and you've got anything from it, please give us a like. It really does help. And if you'd like to subscribe to make sure you get some of the videos coming up, then please do so. Bye for now.